Happy hump day. Hope you guys are doing well. It's been a while. We are fully lit, man. I got this light. It's like super bright, just blasting me out. But I'm going to be breaking down my new song, Bad Medicine. We're going to open up the Logic Pro 12 session. I'm going to talk about all the plugins. We're going to go through vocal chains. We're going to go through the mix bus. We're going to go through all the processing. You know, I'm going to talk a little bit about the writing process and kind of how this song came about as well, because it's a little something different from me. I feel like just a little different vibe. But yeah, I'm really excited to talk about it, and I am going to make sure I'm coming out the right microphone. Because there we go. Right microphone. All right. We're going to be talking about Bad Medicine. I'm going to break it all down, and it's going to be a full-on Logic Pro 12 kind of thing, right? So let's just dive right in. And if you end up in the live stream, cool. If you're watching the replay, sick, dude. Sounds sick. All right. Get off the... Disconnect, ho. Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties here, I guess. Just trying to connect to my phone. And there I go. Okay, here we go. There we go. Hey, there we are. There we go. All right. So this is a live stream, but I'm not going to treat it like a live stream. When people show up, if they do show up, then maybe we can do like a Q&A at the end, okay? But here's the song. If you haven't heard it, I'm just going to play it from beginning to end, and then I'm going to break down all the parts. It's actually a pretty simple song. It's only 2 minutes and 6 seconds long, and that's on purpose. So let's just kind of jam out, shall we? Jamming out.
Too manic, depression fix my panic. Don't feed me your bad medicine. She'll use me for my status. Some folks are so dramatic.
Okay, hold up. You know what I just realized, y'all? I just realized that this is like a private link for a live stream. So I'm going to make sure that we go public here, so that everyone can watch, right? It's not very fun if you know, only people with the actual link could watch. That's kind of lame, right? So we're gonna go here. So many words. This live song review. Boop, boop, boop. Sorry, give me a second. Give me a second if you're just showing up here. I'm gonna actually, I don't know why am I not seeing this right now, but let's see here. Manage videos. Yeah, I think the live that I have going right now is like a private live. Yeah, it's unlisted. Here we go. We're going to make it public. And we're going to publish it. And now we should see it. Everyone can see it. Anyone can tune in. Right? The live that I have going right now is like a private live. Fun stuff. All right, so... let's take it from the top here, huh? If you're in the house, say what's up. But yeah, I'm gonna be breaking down my new song here, Bad Medicine. Hope you guys have been well. It's hump day, and I'm going to dive into my new song featuring Koncept. It's called Bad Medicine. Something a little bit different from what I typically would make, you know, as an artist. But I want to go into kind of the production process, the writing process, talk about plugins, mixing, you know, just kind of the concept behind everything and how it came about. Is this live? It's live now, baby. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. So yeah, we're going to just kind of break it down, and then, you know, you guys feel free to ask questions. Whatever you want, you know. What's up, Will Thompson in the house, bro? What's up, my guy? All right, so share the show out if you want. If not, if you want to keep all this information to yourself, then cool too, right? You want to be a gatekeeper, you be a gatekeeper. All right, let's dive into the song and the Logic session here. So this is actually a pretty simple session, and I think that that's really important to understand about music, is that it doesn't always need to be like super crazy. You don't need a million tracks, right, to make a good song. And this song's doing very well. People seem to resonate with it. I like it. I think it's dope. So if I like it, I'm going to put it out. If I don't like it, I probably won't put it out. That's just kind of how I look at music, but, not everyone has to agree with that. Do you guys see that the live is actually live now? Just asking so that I know that it's actually live, because I think I had it on like private at first. It was like link only sort of thing. So if you could just check that for me. I don't really know if it actually went live. Let's see if I go to YouTube here. I kind of screwed it up. I screwed the whole thing up. Just failing on a hump day, you know what I mean? Super hard. Let's see. I got it on my phone. It looks like it is live. I can't really tell. But yeah. Let's dive in. Yeah, cool. All right. So we're live. We don't have like it's not like link only, right? Like if you go to YouTube, you could see it. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, let's break it down. First of all, let's just give it a listen to anybody that hasn't heard it. You can see it's mainly vocals, right? Vocals, some guitars, drums, 808, some bass, keys. All these blue tracks are all, pretty much all of them are analog synths, besides this one, right? So I'll break down everything, and I'll break down exactly what I'm doing, any sort of processing, bussing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Layering, the vocal processing. I have Koncept. He's a rapper out of Queens, New York. And he's on this as well. I just really liked his flow. I think he killed this verse, had an open verse, and the song's only 2 minutes and 6 seconds. So let's bang it out. Let's have a little listen here.
She thinks that I'm too manic. Depression fix my panic. Don't feed me your bad medicine. She'll use me for my status. Some folks are so dramatic. Don't feed me your bad medicine. She's spending the money to keep them calling, making them all think this girl is my best friend. It's automatic how she can help it. Right to the mattress, shake down the nightstand. Let it burn my pain. Feed me your bad medicine.
Glass frame shaped like a bottle. Feel like I just hit the lotto. So now they wanna ask for $1 to borrow, a hard pill to swallow. Let's wake up tomorrow and pack up the car full. Can't have it all, some hard things to part though. Stop by the falls, I get scared where the sharks go. Patience kicking in, feeling heavy when we start though. Sweat on the skin, but the heart cold. Hanging off the wing going far on. When I land, we should just get a car home. I know we not far now. Wound up and hit it with a large stone. Increase the dose, but don't let my arm go.
Let it burn my pain. Feed me your bad medicine.
And like, that's how quick it is, you know what I mean? So, first things first, I guess I'll just kind of talk about the writing process. The writing process for this was really interesting because I kind of had a sketch of this. Like, I just had an idea, and it all started with an 808 loop, like straight up right out of Splice. Like super simple, super basic. And I really wanted to do this breakdown because I wanted to explain this song specifically. Because sometimes songs are simple, you know? Like, you don't have to make them over complex, all right? And I thought that that was like an interesting thing because most of my songs are like really ridiculously complex, like over complex. I think I get a little over analytical, you know, like I'm like, oh, I can't use a loop. You know, I put like my own rules on myself, but this was just kind of like a feel good vibe. And I think it started, yeah, let me show you where it started. Like I had this like TikTok, you know, that I put out.
Have you seen my foot?
And it was like straight up just me like testing, like, hey, do people fuck with this? You know what I'm saying? And I thought that that was a cool idea. I think it's Bradley HD. Yeah. So I had like made a new account, right, for my music only. And I was like, yo, I'm just going to start posting music on this, right? And I had this little snippet, right, of this song started. And I think it was like the verse or something. And I was like, hey, what if I just like, you know, shot a video right here with the camera set up. And I shot a video of this little part of the song to see if anybody cared about it, you know, and actually liked it. And maybe then if people think it's kind of cool, maybe I'll work on it, right? So I did this.
She thinks that I'm too manic.
So pretty much it's just this part of the song, and this is what, 57 seconds long or something, right?
Down the nightstand
A lot of it wasn't even like lyrics or anything. Like I didn't even have most of it, right? And like people started like, oh, is this part 2 of Her? Definitely. I love it. I love this. Yeah. Drop it. Yeah. Sick. Love it. Love it. You know, absolutely. I just added it to rotation. So, you know, like people started commenting on it and like showing love. So I was like, yeah, maybe there's something to this track, right? And that's kind of how it started. And it was just like a loop. Like I threw it together. You know what I mean? I just like had that splice thing, and it's this 808 here. And of course I sauced it up and I did a bunch of shit with it, but like I split it into sub and into punch frequencies, but it's literally this. And there's no kick drum at all in this track either. But it all started kind of with this idea here, this 808. I just thought it was such a cool progression, you know, and then I mapped out like the notes and the chords and everything, and I was like, yeah, this is sick. I can do something with this. So for the sub, I just basically filtered out everything just for the sub, and then I put this punch in because there was no kick. It was just an 808. So I used the harmonic analog saturator. You know, this is one of my favorites from Softtube. And then the Pro Q4, I just went to the mids, you know. Then I went to the API because this has really good punch. It has a, you know, it's like modeling an API 2500, which has an op amp in it. So it's like a VCA compressor with an op amp. So it's kind of fat and thick and punchy as fuck. And then right after that, I did again another filter because as you add these plugins, you're going to get harmonics and it's going to go down and it's going to go up, right? Just part of these processors, especially the harmonics and the API, right? So the API is going to add more harmonics. So then with the op amp, so then I added another filter there. All right. So then that went to this is the bass mix bus. And this is where I threw this guy, which I hardly use this guy, but I thought it was really good for multiband, right? And what I was trying to make sure of is to kind of control it more. The hardest part about this mix was like controlling the 808, but still making it fat and big, you know, and making it feel big. Because I didn't want it to feel puny. I want it to be funk, you know. And then, of course, the Neutron. This is the transient shaper. This is really dope because it's like multiband. So I do a little bit of, took down the sustain here so that it's not sustaining as long. It's not going boom, 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 right? It's going boom, 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 you know. And then I have this on a little bit of more attack to make it sound more like a kick drum sort of thing. And then the standard clip. And the standard clip is adding some saturation. So if I just bypass just these on the bass bus in and out, you could hear quite a difference actually. Just a lot of control is all this is, okay? Did you use the TLM 103 for all these vocals? I'm not sure. I have to check the chain. We'll get to that though, for sure. I'll definitely show you what I did there. So that's really like what I did with the 808, right? I did quite a bit of processing to make sure that the 808 is not going crazy. Like it's not going way too big and distorting too much. I do want distortion. You can hear it has distortion. It's like saturated and it's harmonically, you know, all sorts of stuff. But I didn't want it to overload the stereo bus too much. So even if I just gave you the punch, this is what the punch sounds like by itself. Just more like a kick drum. Right, so this way I can control the sub and the punch differently and kind of like bring them up and down. Okay, so that's like, without a kick drum, that's what I'm doing. I'm just splitting them. And then the drums, let's go into the drums because those are really important. There's like this snare drum that's just so punchy and so fat, right? Like that's totally on purpose. I mean, everything I do is on purpose, so if you don't like it, it's like, cool. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care if you don't like it. I like it. I did it on purpose. You always get these comments online. It's like, oh, that's too, that snare sucks. And you're like, well, okay, fine. Make your snare sound however you want it to sound. I don't really give a shit. But you know what I mean? Like, obviously. But here is the drum mix bus. It has Orion on it, right? And here's without Orion, just so you can like really hear the difference, because this actually makes a big difference. So really, really simple, right? Like 808, then you have the hi-hats, you have the snare, right? So here's that snare, that tape snare, which is just absolutely just boom, you know? And I even had to like take some of that out, some of that boom. And then I added a little bit of the top 9K here, just so it gives it that you know? Because I like that. It's almost like a pink noise. And then this hi-hat literally goes throughout the whole thing besides like one little part where I muted it. So it's like, dude, it's such a simple track. Like, I'm just showing you this because I think it's so simple. It's one of the most simple tracks I've ever made. But yeah, just like really focusing on the high end here. And then we have this percussion thing, which is, I think this is just a accent. I'm like doing like a little Neptune's like a conga kind of thing here. You know, all about syncopation here. And this percussion loop was really interesting because kind of this underwater sound that I really thought was dope. So I just popped it in. Now that I think was processed, like there's probably a lot of tracks that were like processed and bounced in place. You know what I mean? Like you can see there's a ton of different stuff that I've done. Like here's the underwater thing. And I think I had like bounced through a bunch of different stuff. So there's like different parts where like this session came from like multiple sessions, you know, it just kept getting slimmer and slimmer. Like I would process something and I would fuck with it and then I'd print it, you know, and then it'd go into a new session. And so that's kind of like maybe a little bit misleading. Like I just threw in a loop and I was like, yeah, that's a loop. It's sick. I actually was doing some stuff with it. And, you know, you can see some of this stuff like guitar comps, keys. I think like the MIDI and stuff I hid and bounced, you know, like here's atoms and yeah, there's all sorts of different stuff we'll talk about here. But going back to the drums here. So this is kind of like the start of it, right? And I thought, oh, okay, so if I got the groove, right? If I got this And I'm really liking this. How do I layer it up and like make it a little bit more interesting? So I added this kind of like Prince. This is Cradle Audio, the Prince, this synth here. And it's just kind of a little funky kind of analog synth sounding bass thing. Right, and like that with the 808 kind of gives it something a little different. You know what I'm saying? And it's pretty hidden because the 808's so big, but in parts like that kind of gives this funk vibe. You know, it's like just layering things, like understanding why you're adding the layer. One thing I hate is when producers just layer shit to layer it. It's like, I'm going to put an 808 on top of an 808 on top of another 808. It's like, why? So this is a very precise thing that's happening. It has a different ADSR. And if you even go into the EQ of it, it's going to not be sitting anywhere in that sub frequency, you know, because that's where the 808 is. It's kind of like in the low mids. You know, and that's kind of what I like about if you plug in an electric bass and you take like a P bass, for example, and you start playing it, or any sort of funk bass, you push the 400 to 500 area a little bit and you get like that honk, you know, that how, you know, and that's where I think a lot of funk records, they were using, what is that bass? It's like a Rickenbacker, you know, like they had the Rickenbacker kind of bass, and that bass tone to me just has a lot of the like throaty sound, right? So that's funk, like P bass, you know, P bass funk, right? So you had like that like 300 to 500 area. There's even like wah pedals would kind of make that sound, you know. So that's all on purpose, you know, like trying to get that to yo, wow, you know. And I could have done that with an analog synth, but I got there really quick with the Prince, so that's what I used. And then, you know, once you got all that together, you kind of have the whole groove that everything can lay on, right? So that's all this, right? The Prince synth, the 808, the drums, you know, all this stuff together is the foundation. So it's like, yeah, that's pretty basic. And then, you know, a lot of artists would just like cut to that, right? Like you could write to that. And I did. I wrote like most of the song to just that pretty much. I started to obviously create sections, and the sections happen when you start adding layers. And when you start adding layers, I think a big part of, you know, you can keep the bass line the same thing all the way through. It doesn't matter. But when you add layers, you add different harmonic structure to everything. So it's a really important thing to understand that lesson itself, right? Like if you're hitting a D sharp on the low bass, you could do a D sharp major. You could do a D sharp minor 7. You could do a D sharp minor 9. You could do all sorts of crazy shit on top of it that's going to make it feel so different. So when we go to the chorus area and you start adding those kind of vibes to it, you know, like we cut guitars, and I'll just start, you know, unmuting some of these guitars here just so you can hear like the difference that the chords and the harmonic structure start to give the tone. You know, it goes to a whole different world, right? Because the feeling of those chords and the minor 7s and stuff are, they're kind of like mysterious. To me, they're kind of like thought-provoking a little bit. And then here is another rhythm guitar here. And this is the guitar that changes everything for me, right? This takes it out of, like, you're kind of like, the best way to put it, to like the way that I think about it is I think about it as like counter harmonic, you know, counterpoint. So you have something going, and then something else going, you know, it's like gives totally different flavor to something. So without that guitar, we're going to play these other guitars, and then I'm going to throw in the keys, and you're going to start to hear as things start to sound and feel different when you start adding these things. So here, this is the phase plant keys. And the reason I use phase plant is because I have one of these Osmos keyboards down here that you can like move the keys, and you can like, it has crazy aftertouch and shit. So you can really make things move with it. So that's what I did. I used a lot of that on it. So phase plant, doing a lot of like really subtle, and let's just like solo these out. These are just the phase plant with the Osmos. So you get a lot of like feeling and texture and movement, really. All right, so that is like, I try really hard nowadays to not make things sound too programmed, right? The drums on this are very programmed. So if you play something else on top of it that's super programmed, everything's just going to meld together and sound really basic, right? So I'm trying to make it feel much more humanized. And that's why I'm using the Osmos keyboard, because it's like, it feels like an analog instrument, like a guitar, the way you can really make it move and the vibe you can give it. And these synth like the actual synth that I'm using here is a phase plant, but it has, these are like programmed for use with this idea, with the keys being really automated. And here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's hard to explain. So it's called, so see how this says EE? These are like expressive. And what it means is like you have a built-in expressive E. See that? Expressive E. So the expressive E, the Osmos that I have, it's like one of those rolly keyboards, right? Where you can like, and you can like move and bend the notes and shit. And this synth has these patches I bought separately, right? That work with the Osmos, the MPE, that's what it's called. Sorry, I was like looking for the word. So it's called like MIDI polyphonic expression or some shit like that. I'm not really sure, but every single note can be changed. So you can do like polyphonic moves and gestures and velocity changes and aftertouch and pitch bend all with the keyboard, right? So that's what these are. If you just use a normal synth without this EE on it in the MPE format, then it's not going to give you what this keyboard can do, right? You'd have to use the built-in sounds on that keyboard. So that's what I'm doing. I'm using these. Something, I don't know, maybe you guys got some game out of that. Fuck if I know. Maybe you're just confused now, but here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the Osmos EE, let's just do that. So expressive MPE polyphonic synthesizer. This is what it is. And with it, you can do like these gestures, right? Like, so the keys can bend and, you know, you can do all this crazy shit with it. So what I'm trying to show you is like, it's a very expressive keyboard that doesn't feel like a basic synth, right? Like most synths are just like basic, and then they might have polyphonic aftertouch, right? And aftertouch is awesome because you can do like, you know, filter opening and stuff like, but this adds like so many layers of expression, and it's a lot deeper in expression. So that's what these are anyway. That's all I'm trying to tell you. And I think that's really important, because when you start adding these, to something that's super programmed like this, for example. Like when we just take all of these, drums, bass, 808, etc., and you just have this, and then you start adding the expression on top, that's where you get all the funk. Right, that's the funk, man. That's like, you're playing like a Moog Voyager, but you're adding extra additional expression, not just the pitch bend and mod wheel, you get extra sauce. And then add that, to the guitars, and, let's play the guitars like with these kind of like minor seventh kind of ideas and the plucks, and then we'll add the pop part. See, because like that to me feels like an 80s, I don't know, maybe 90s, like new Jack Swing kind of vibe, with the 808 and the, ba-bum, 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 Michael Jackson kind of vibe. That's really what I'm going for. And then you add this is where you get the pop. Right? So here's what we're doing. Like, it's like, layers and layers and layers, and they all kind of work together and become sort of this like funk, New Jack Swing, Michael Jackson meets like, I don't know. I really don't know. But I think obviously the vocals are going to make it sound, how it sounds now. But now we add the, going into the chorus, we add some more layers, right? So I got the Juno 106 here, which this is really the main thing that I want people to really feel. Right? So that is like literally me playing the 106 over and over and over again. No, this is not quantized. Nothing is quantized. Nothing's to the grid. Nothing. It's just me playing directly with the 106 directly in, bending the pitch wheel and, doing that shit. And you could see I took a bunch of takes. Like I just kept going until I found the take that I liked. And I mean, shit, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 13, 14 takes. By take 14, I got what I liked, right? So take 9 is probably terrible. I mean, it's different, right? So there's different shit going on, and here's take 10. Like, it's just fun to like hear. Like, this is the progression of writing and exploring. Right? So it's kind of fun. It's like these like little things like I'm performing. I think that's really important in producing. You should perform stuff with everything, by the way. You should perform things with like effects. You should perform things with synths. You should perform with guitars, with your vocals. You should do performances. That's what people want to hear in a song. They don't want to hear you programming shit. Like, I'm sorry, that's dead. Like, it is so boring to hear something that's completely programmed. So yeah, perform. Like, even with these, like I play these in and I just sit there and play the keys, like, and then when I find a good part section, I'm like, fuck yeah. And then I'm gonna loop that, you know, and this one I just played all the way through for the chorus. But okay, so here's piano. This is an upright piano. And then I stacked that with these keys with it is like the Adams plugin from Baby Audio. Here, I'll try to show you guys what that is. Just so you could see, I don't know. Maybe you want to see, maybe you don't. So it's this guy, Adams. I don't know. Oh yeah, it's muted. There you go. I like this because it sounds like keys, but it's really synthesized, right? So I'm stacking like this with other stuff. So there's that, and then that's got like some plugins on it, and then the vintage upright is literally just the piano right here from, I think it's just stock like in Logic, which is a great piano, by the way. It's a great upright vintage piano. Love it. It's great for indie records, great for pop, great for, you know, funk, whatever. So that's what I'm doing. I got those two, and then I stack it, I think, with another keys. Yeah, like a Lush Keys phase plant. So the phase plant Osmos again. So I can get more, you know, feeling out of it and more pocket and groove and just kind of vibe, right? So that's all together going to sound like, here, and I'll kind of solo these out and then let you hear them. I should hide this one again. Hide it. So these are the keys, right? So then this one is the Lush Keys. Sounds like this. Right, and then these little like bass stabs, I think this just sounds like funk to me, you know, like a Moog. This is the Moog Muse, and it has the 9/10 Eventide and the True Verb kind of tucking it back, but it's just hitting on these like these downbeats here. I don't know why. I was just like, that needs something else, you know? Like I just need that little bass hit, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just need a bass hit. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. All right, iPhone, that's what's up. Yeah, you got it. The iPhone's got a bump, dude. If you don't have the 808 cutting on the iPhone, the kicks and the snares and everything, yeah, you gotta have everything working. Hey, I'm glad you're here too. Hey, I like bring those good times back too. I think a lot of people do. Yeah, guitar tones are sick, man. They're just, it's very simple. I think this was mainly Strat. And then some of like my Telly, just going through the mixed wave stuff. Mixed wave stuff is the key to all good guitar tones. It's all I use. Like literally nowadays, like mixed wave plugins for guitars. because mainly I'm doing clean guitars, you know, vibey guitars, spring reverb, you know, funk guitars, pop guitars, and it's all just mixed wave, straight up. Okay, so then there's this hit as well. Like we did this on the guitar. I thought this was fun. As you can see, mixed wave again, weird, right? Milkman Creamer, go to. If you don't have that plugin, just go buy it. It's worth it. It's worth every single penny, and probably one of my favorite guitar sims. And it's just something you're going to get a bunch of mileage out of. No sponsorship. I don't get paid from those guys for talking about any of that shit, just so you guys know. So 280 preamp Mixland. So this is going to give it some like grit. Just sounds so good to me. It's like that McGee sound, if you know McGee. And then vocal synth, stack that up. And then rabbit tape, Safari pedals, one of my favorites for getting literally like that cheap tape sound. Sounds awesome. And then you know I fuck with the H3000. It's on so many things. And then Flamingo Verb. Flamingo Verb is just giving it some space. So all that together for like literally one guitar note. That's stacked with two others. So this is the center guitar, and it sounds like this. I mean, that's just like straight funk to me. Like, I love that sound. If you guys have these plugins and you want this channel strip, I'll give it to you. But that's like, plug that in, take a guitar, DI it, and like literally, here's what it sounds like without any of this. It's crazy like how good that little stack is. You're like, what the fuck is that, right? And then you're like, okay, let me turn all these on. And you get like something completely different. So dope. I think it caught a little low thing in there on that one. But anyway, so that's like on the chorus here. So simple, but it's just like those little like stabs and moments in funk records, pop records. Like, I just fucking love that kind of stuff. So I didn't spend too much time doing that throughout this song, by the way. I just have things kind of coming in and out. And I think that's what keeps the song interesting, right? And also having the rap verse like really switches it up. So you're not like tired of the song. And then the story behind it, you know, like Bad Medicine is like, it kind of goes both ways. I think a lot of people maybe will misunderstand this song. I think they're thinking like, oh, this is a sex song. This is about, you know, a girl that's bad for you. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, sure. You could think that simple and that's fine. Like that's what pop songs are, right? But to me, this is actually like going back and forth, right? It's like, it's actually more about, like people that like feed you all this bad shit all the time, right? And you can't help but be kind of addicted to it, right? So it's like, you know, you have those friends or those people that are like, oh, have you seen the news? You know, can you believe this is happening? Or check this out, or watch this, or do this. And you're like, oh man, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. But then you're like, man, okay. You know, cause we're humans. Like we want to see like terrible things and we don't know why. It's just like ingrained in us. So that's really what this song is more about. It's more about that push and pull of being a human, and where you don't really want that medicine, that bad shit. You don't want the bad food, you know, you don't want the Taco Bell and all this like fast food and all this stuff that's bad for you. You don't want the liquor and the weed and all this stuff, but you kind of do. Right? You're like, oh God, you know, but I kind of like it, you know? So that's kind of like the push and pull, right? So just so we can be clear on what these lyrics mean to me when I'm writing them. It's like, you know, she thinks I'm too manic, depression fix my panic. Like that opening line kind of is the whole song. That's what it's about. You know, it's like I'm a manic person and then someone else around me is depressed, right? And that depression is going to fix me being panicked all the time, right? So you're like always strung out and you're like on social media and like everything's hitting you all the time. And then you have someone else that's kind of depressed and chill, and then they kind of like fix that panic for you, but they're also kind of like in a depressive state. You know, they're at home watching TV and sitting on the couch, you know what I mean? So there's like two sides of it. It's like the person that's always like trying to do everything and get all the news and all the information and spread all the bullshit all the time, right? And then the other person that is just straight up depressed by it. Like they cannot get out of their head about it. They're stuck on the couch from it. You get what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people don't understand like how deep this song really goes for me personally. But that's what it's about. It's not about some girl that's bad for me, you know? You know, saying, oh, this girl's so bad for me, but I love it. You know, it's like, this is not, you're such a fucking hoe, but I love it. This isn't that. This is a much deeper context here. And I'm just playing with it in a pop sense because I think that that's more appealing to people in general, but the people that really understand what's going on in this story will read it differently, you know? I mean, some people are intellects. Some people go based on very boring and surface level feelings, right? Oh, I'm horny. Okay, so I need to fuck. You know, I feel like shit, so I need to drink some alcohol. You know, oh, this girl, she's bad for me, but I like it anyway because she's hot. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. Okay, cool. That's the basic level of it. But you know, this whole idea of like that, and then putting the don'ts in there. That's like really, hopefully, the callback that you guys. Some of you guys are getting, right? Like she thinks I'm too manic, depression, fix my panic. Don't feed me your bad medicine, right? Don't feed me your bad shit. Don't pull me down with you, right? She'll use me for my status. And really this like line right here is like, she'll use me for my energy, for my well-being, for my goodness. Like she's going to try to pull me into the drama. And that's the whole idea. Like she'll use me for my status. Some folks are so dramatic, right? Some people, and you guys know this because you're online. I don't know anybody that's not online. And if you're not, then God bless you. You know what I'm saying? But this is like a big deal right here. You know, people want to be really dramatic about everything. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to take any sort of action, but they want to post about it and they want to be dramatic about it. It's such a big, devastating thing, right? So then it's don't feed me your bad medicine. And I think this is really important. Like the first verse is all about like, don't feed me your bad medicine. Don't feed me your bad medicine. Do not, right? And then she's spending the money. And this means a lot of different things. Like when I'm writing these lyrics, I'm really going deep into the thought process of them. Like she's spending the money is like marketing, you know, online marketing, politics, everything that you guys are hearing and seeing right now with politics, with division, with everything has massive $1 trillion budgets in marketing behind it. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. And that sucks, right? It's like the agendas that are pushed on us are fed by trillions of dollars in marketing campaigns. So she's spending the money to keep them calling, right? Making them all think this girl is my best friend. I think that whole line and that whole lyric there is really awareness that everything is marketing from these like huge political partners, governments, etc. Tax dollars being stolen, whatever. It's like they will keep spending the money to keep them calling, right? To keep the friends calling, making them all think this girl's my best friend. They all want you to think that they're your best friend. So that's where the division happens, I think, a lot of the times with a lot of people is, you know, there's like marketing, pushing all these things and like everybody wants, you know, this person spending all this money is like, no, I'm your best friend. I'm the one, you know, and that person's bad. And that's, you know, and humans are like made to decide which is right and wrong. You know, I'm on this team. I'm a Republican, you know, I'm a Democrat. I am not a Republican. You know, it's like this division, right? So that's my best friend. You know, I'm voting for that person, whatever, because that person is the best, you know? So that's kind of the idea behind all this. It's division and divisiveness, and don't feed me your bad medicine. I don't want it, you know? But then it's automatic how she can have it right to the mattress, shake down the nightstand. So on, and like the chorus is on and on and on. And then this lyric was really hard for me because I was like trying to figure it out. It says, load it, flow it, let it flood in my vein. You know, like I was really trying to figure out what that was. But that ended up being this stack of this vocal here. Right? So let it flood my vein. I mean, that's like the whole idea is like on and on and on it goes. Like it just keeps going. Like people are just going to keep feeding you this shit, right? And then we just let it flood our veins. Like just come on, bring it on. I'm just going to fucking just let it flood my vein, dude. Like, and that's why I stacked it up, because I wanted it to feel religious and spiritual, you know? So yeah, let's get into the vocals now. So here's vocal mix. And then I love what Koncept did on it, because he went to a whole different level with the meaning for me. And I don't even think that he did it intentionally. I didn't tell him what the song was about. I didn't tell him what to write. And I really feel like he nailed exactly what the concept, you know, pun intended, I guess, but like he nailed exactly what this song is about. And he did it in such a way that's so unique. Like so many rappers would just do the most basic shit on this, you know? They'd make it about the girl, right? Like, oh, the girl's bad for me, and you know what I mean? He didn't do that, which I really fucking love. And we'll get into that a little bit. But so these vocals, let's talk about the vocals. This is like the lead vocal is just has some de-essing on it. But that's because it was already bounced through a bunch of stuff. And I don't even know where the original vocal is, right? Because I told you, oh, here we go. So here's the comp. So here is the original vocal comp, right? And then here are the plugins I had on it. So I was not using the Slate mic. I must have been using the 103 for this whole thing. So I just have the 116 on. Someone asked about this, so I'm going to go through it. Metatune, D sharp minor, 87%, 22, 13. Love Metatune. And then we got Pro Q3, cut out the top, cut out the bottom, you know, kind of control it a little bit. Some de-essing, Pro Q3 again, you know, this is like shaping shit. I'm just like producing and mixing as I produce sort of thing. And then H3000, but this is at 36%, and it's always micro pitch shift, by the way. And, you know, -9 and +9 left and right. And then we have the Valhalla vintage verb. I mean, come on. It's like very classic, right? And this is on tight plate preset with plate, now modern, and then 34.7 milliseconds, 19% up, 3 seconds decay, and you can see all the settings there. It's like very, very basic, and that's all I did. And then I bounced that, and then that's why the vocal, the lead vocal here, is a stereo file, right? Because it has everything bounced to it. And then I just add a little extra Pro DS, right, to DS. This is the lead vocal, so let's go to the beginning of this. I think this came out really good. I think it's just a really good range for my vocal to be like where I'm at the top of my, it's almost like head voice and then falsetto, like right there, right where I like it. You know what I'm saying? That D sharp area. So it just landed nicely for me.
She thinks that I'm too manic. Depression, fix my panic. Feed me your bad medicine. She'll use me for my status. So dramatic, don't. Feed me your bad medicine. She's spending the money to keep them calling, making them all think this girl is my best friend. It's automatic how she can help me. Right to the mattress, shake down the nightstand.
All right, so really, really warm. All the imperfections are still in there. You can hear my mouth clicking and all that shit. And I don't care. Like, it's funk, you know what I'm saying? So I still wanted to leave some of that in. FG Gray, I love this on the vocal mix bus. I think it's like perfect glue. And then Little Radiator, just adding more heat, more fuzz, more noise, more shit. And good. I like it. You guys don't like it? Fuck you. No, just don't use it if you don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And then tapping down a little 2600, like, you don't like it? Fuck off. No, and then vocal mix bus again. I have the Sooth 2 here, just kind of soothing out this like 2K to like 2.5K in the vocal range for me personally. On my vocal in this range can get really pretty abrasive.
thinks that I'm too manic. Depression fix my panic. Don't feed me your bad medicine. She'll use me for my status. Some folks are so dramatic. Don't feed me your bad medicine. She's spending the money, keep them calling, making them all think this girl.
You know, it's just warm, fat, thick, gooey, kind of, yeah, that's kind of the way I like it. And then what do we got? We got like different punches, punctuations here. Obviously, I cut this for the delay. The delay is throwing to the Echo Boy Jr. Very simple quarter note delay. We got some harmony stacks here. So here's the high harmony with some temperance on it, which I love this plugin. I think it's super sick. And it just adds some nice vibes to it.
Feed me your bad medicine. Feed me your bad medicine. Feed me your bad medicine. She'll use me for my status. Some folks think this girl is my best friend. This girl is my best friend.
A little throaty kind of talk, ad-lib, double stack kind of thing, right? Like, I think that's kind of it's kind of, you know, going towards the concept of the whole song. You know, it's just kind of gross and dark a little bit, you know what I mean? And then what else we got here? Probably some harmonies. Same thing, you know, just a little bit of compression, Metatune, Pro Q3, Pro Q3, Valhalla. Like, I have no reason why I have two Pro Q3s on here. No reason at all. Like, you know, like, don't read into that. That's just me going like, oh, I'm just going, I'm producing, I'm mixing, I'm working while I work. Okay, here's a double here. You can even hear me like kind of stomping on the ground here, right? You know, it's like probably the cable like falling down, you know? And then here's the part, like, this is where I get really stacked up. Trying to make this like kind of a gospel, like choir thing, like, you know, let it flood my veins, right? So this is lead. I'll just go through these.
Let it flood my vein. Let it flood my vein. Let it flood. Let it flood my vein. 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 My vein. Let it flood my vein. Let it flood my vein. Feed me your bad medicine. Feed me your bad medicine.
Like a bottle.
That's like literally all the stacks. You guys heard it all, right? So, yeah, advertised listening experience. Exactly. For sure, for sure. Yeah, the ear candy's everything, man. Like, when it comes to like funk and, you know, I think any music nowadays, right? Like, you want ear candy. You want your listener to get something every, you know, four bars or so. Like, or else, like, why listen? It's not that exciting, you know? You are entertaining people. Like, remember, like, music is entertainment. Are you saying in Coke? No, I don't know what you're saying there. But, yeah, good evening, my friend. How are you? Do you ever use Melodyne? Yeah, every once in a while. I try really hard not to over-process vocals nowadays, like with tuning, you know? Add a little metatune, auto-tune to it, just fucking sing through it till it feels good. You know, for me. Personally, I'm using Melodyne on client work when I get something that I'm like, bro, this needs some love. Yo, I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that, Russ. Russ is here, dude. The real Russ. All right, so, yeah, so let's get rap vocals, right? I had to work my ass off to get these going, you know, like to get these really locked in. And this is the chain here. Vocal Rider, 1176 Anniversary Edition, Chakra plugin, which I have grown to love on some vocals. And also distortion on like bass and 808s. And then Pro DS, Pro Q4, you know, got a little vibe going, you know, just kind of getting rid of that, popping up a little bit of that, etc. And then this is an interesting one. I don't use this very often, but I really like it. It's got, it's a quad discrete VCA. So there's 4 VCAs in it. Compressor, great on vocals. A little bit of verb. This is a plate, and we're really, really low, right? 7.8, 2.1 on decay. And then we're sending to a P comp, which is 1176, Pro Q4 in a less channel, okay? So that's just giving it drive, mid-range, punch, and then some widening. So this is the widening chain that I use quite often, right? So that's just widening the vocal out, and let's hear it. You know, this is the lead vocal, and then there's stacks and doubles and ad-libs, and we'll talk about that as well, but here's what the lead sounds like.
Glass frame shaped like a bottle, feel like I just hit the lotto. So now they wanna ask for $1 to borrow, a hard pill to swallow. Let's wake up tomorrow and pack up the car full. Can't have it all, some hard things to park though. Stop by the falls, I get scared where the sharks go. Patience kicking in, feeling heavy when we start go.
Oh, and then I bring in some more kind of Moog stuff here, just some little beep beep beeps, right? So this shit. Right, just some funky shit, just to kind of signature the moment. What else? We got some Osmos here, some more lead stuff, synths. It's so funny to hear it soloed out, but like it all plays its part, you know what I mean? And yeah, let's hear the whole verse because I really like what he wrote here.
Glass frame shaped like a bottle, feel like I just hit the lotto. So now they wanna ask for $1 to borrow, a hard pill to swallow. Let's wake up tomorrow and pack up the car full. Can't have it all, some hard things to park though. Stop by the falls, I get scared where the sharks go. Patience kicking in, feeling heavy when we start go. Sweat on the skin, but the heart cold. Hanging off the wing, going far on. When I land, we should just get a car home. I know we not far now, wound up and hit it with a large stone. Increase the dose, but don't let my arm go.
Yeah, dude. I love his verse. I think it's so sick. And it's like the more I hear it, the more I like it. Which I love that about certain songs where it grows on you. Because like this song will like hit you at first and you're like, oh yeah, it's pretty catchy, right? Like it's pretty pop. So it catches you at first for sure. But then I think it also grows on you, which that's what I strive for. I want people to hear a song and go, yo, I like this. It's addictive, you know? I like addictive music for me personally because like I like the dopamine that I get from hearing something that's addictive, you know? I'm like, oh yes, because you can hear it over and over again and you're like, yes, I like it still, you know? And then it grows on you because there's a deeper meaning to it and it goes a little bit deeper into different shit. So yeah, so rap vocals, showed you everything there. And then there's some doubles here that are just punctuated and you can see I'm just doing the same exact thing, but I'm not sending it. I'm not doing the parallel sends. And then this is, yeah, same thing. But one thing I did different on these ad-libs is I just ended the chain with the telephone plugin. And this is a really cool plugin because it's like super simple. Like you turn on the telephone and you're like, bam, that's exactly what I want. It's just that kind of filtered idea.
Yeah. Swallow. Car full. No, part though. Damn. Shotgun. Heart cold. Going. Glass frame shaped like a bottle. Feel like I just hit the lotto. So now they wanna ask for $1 to borrow, a hard pill to swallow. Let's wake up tomorrow and pack up the car full. Can't have it all, some hard things to part though. Stop by the falls, I get scared where the sharks go. Patience kicking in.
Right? Super simple. And then Rap Vox Mix Bus. This has the FG Gray on it again. It has some EQ. I'm just really kind of trying to control the low mids and the bottom, and then Soothe 2. And this is taking care of like some sibilance up top and then anything harsh in the 2K area. And that's really it. And then this goes to, everything goes to, let me see here. I'm going to, this all goes, including my vocal, to the All Vox bus, okay? And this All Vox bus has standard clip on it. And I love this Soft Clip Pro. I think this is super good. And then I have it at 5%. And that's as high as I usually go on this. I'll go like 3 to 5% on this. And this just like pushes the vocals right up front and make sure that they stay there, like straight up. And then Pro Q4 to finish it off. Like I just noticed when I started using the standard clip on this, it just kind of brought out this area a little too much, you know, 300, 500 area, too much boom in the vocal. So I just kind of tucked it back. It's 1.68 dB down and 0.82. You know, I'm doing this by ear. I'm just like feeling it out. I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I want to get rid of. All right. So that's on all vocals. That means my vocals are going through that as well, right? So it goes to my vocal mix bus and then it goes to the all vocals. And then that all vocals then goes to the master aux bus, which I will explain what's on that as well, because that's kind of like the last thing that everything hits, right? And you can see guitar parts in and out, different parts coming in and out. This part, you know, ending the vocal, the rap verse here, right? Just like ear candy and vibes and transitional things, right? This is the transitional guitar thing. Right? I thought that was really cool, and I just had to fit that in. And the way I fit that in is I use this like phaser, this Bitronic, you know. This is a pedal, the Bitron pedal, pretty popular in the funk era kind of shit, right? Like, you know, it does that kind of shit. But yeah, this is great for that. Gives it kind of that funk, but it also kind of gets the guitars out of the way because I'm trying to phase them out of the middle, right? And then the guitar mix bus, you can notice like I'm doing a lot of mid-side EQ, right? So middle, right? Get it out of the way of the vocals. That's the whole idea because these guitars are right in the vocal range otherwise. So here on this part, this is what it sounds like.
Patience kicking in, feeling heavy when we start go. Sweat on the skin, but the heart cold. Hanging off the wing, going far
Right? You're like, you still hear the vocal's right here, right? But then this other shit is swimming around it, punctuating in the background. I think that's really important to a production mix. Like, don't step on the vocal, right? If there's an opening, then yeah, do whatever you want in the middle and on top, but not when there's not an opening, and there's no opening here. We want to hear the story. So these together with the keys. Right? Kind of fun. Just a little vibe here. Just a moment. I want a little moment to happen in the record there. And then this part as well. It's just like a little pickup area when he ends his verse.
dose, but don't let my arm go.
Bada bing, that's the whole song. Let's break down the master bus here. So master, really, again, I'm really trying to control that sub area, right? Like I want this to be, I wasn't really trying to make this like a super loud record, you know? I want this more to be like a full, thick, kind of texturized record. Like, and I think I did exactly what I wanted it to sound like. I didn't push for like really loud mids, you know, mid forward kind of thing. Like I wanted it to be well-rounded, if that makes sense. Not too much high end, right? Like I was very very specific on not wanting the high end to be brittle, harsh. I want you to turn this record up. I want you to feel it. You know, I want it to punch you in the stomach. You know what I'm saying? I want you to turn it up. I want everyone to like turn the fucking song up. That's really what I'm going for. So I had to control the low end the most, right? Because of the 808. But let's go to like the verse and yeah, just go in here somewhere, right? And we'll just talk about what's going on here on the master bus and how I'm controlling things and what's feeding what, etc.
She's spending the money, keep them calling, making them all.
Right, that 808 is just, it will just eat everything away. So there's that to the manly, right? This, I use this a lot. By the way, this is in linear phase high. That's how I like it when I'm on master bus. Pro Q4 is really good on the master bus at linear phase high for me. And then I go manly. This should just be tickling the needle here.
She's spending the money, keep them calling, making them all think this girl is my best friend. It's
Just get a car home, I know we not far now. Wound up and hit it with a large stone.
Yeah, it's like barely moving, right? Like it'll just kind of budge a little bit. So that's really going to be for volume. And I like what the manly does as far as like the high mids go. So it kind of distorts them nicely in a very musical way. Golfos, not much going on here. I kind of filtered it so it's, you know, not even touching down here. So this is all the low end. So it's just really focused on the mids.
With a large stone, increase the dose, but don't let my arm go.
Give some really nice separation is what Golfos can do. It can be overdone very easily, so you got to be careful with Golfos. It's kind of one of those plugins that's kind of addictive, you know? Oh, yeah, it sounds great. It sounds even better when I turn it up. But it's like, nah, go back on your mix, you know what I mean? Gold clip. Always going to be gold clip on anything where I want good, tight, held together low end, because that's what this plugin does really well. And then I have the this on, so it's literally just a sidechain filter going to the clipper. So I'm not hitting the clipper. It's not detecting as much of the low sub stuff. Again, I was very, very aware of the sub stuff and not clipping it out too much. Like we're not even clipping. We're just adding harmonics. We're adding the gold, right? 2.4. And we have a classic clipper and a classic gold. So the alchemy is doing a lot, right? It's kind of rounding out the record a little bit more, which is nice. And overall, what I hear when I turn on gold clip on this is I hear the low end kind of come up and hug a little bit better. So it's all kind of gluing the low end to the mids and the high mids better. And then I always use Synth too. If I'm going to use it on master bus, I use the DS low mid cleanup 1 or 2. And I've talked about this multiple times, but this is just really tightening up the stereo image. I'll bypass this in and out. When it's out, it might sound like wider and you're like, oh, that's better. But I actually want to kind of bring it in because it's going to translate better across all, like, you know, where everyone's listening. Like straight up. It's doing very little, that Synth 2 is. It's almost like, do you need it? You know what I mean? Sometimes I just have it on there as like, oh yeah, I need that. That's my safety. makes me feel safe inside. I'm gonna put my Synth 2 on there. And then BX Digital Brainworks in mid-side mode. So this is gonna give it a lot more width. You have 117 here. And then we're doing in the middle some EQing stuff. Again, I'm really aware of the 156 here, and we're actually turning the filter on, which is super rare for me to do nowadays, filtering at 21 hertz with 12 dB per octave slope there. And then this is 79 hertz, 6 dB per octave slope on the sides. So it just kind of cleans up the sides so you don't have as much of that bottom sub in the sides, which, you know, just kind of makes things wider. You'll hear, I'll pop it in and out. It's going to change the gain too, because we are all, you know, it's all gain structured. So like down 9 dB, down 4 dB, right? So it's going to be quieter probably, or louder. So it's really key there. Like, you could trick yourself because you turn it off and you're like, it's louder, it sounds better, right? And we all know like that whole debate online, which is absolutely bullshit. Like, everybody wants to talk about how, oh, it's louder, you didn't gain match it, you didn't gain match it. Like, you don't have a fucking volume control on your phone. You know, like, get over it, guys. I think it's always silly when people are online, like, trying to call you out for not gain matching. It's like, there's so much more to it than just gain, right? So this, like, to me, for example, a lot of people would be like, no, it's better without it, right? Because it gets louder. But if you actually turn this on, you realize like the whole record smooths out a little bit. It gets a little bit silkier, it sets in, and it gets wider. And like, it just kind of like, shoo. You turn it off and it gets louder and it gets like more in your face and stuff, but you can hear the EQ balance and the width and the depth and everything change, you know? So this is the key thing, like, not to think that like everything needs to be gain matched all the time. Just think about the actual, like, your, like, what is gaining into and out of, right? Like, don't think about gain matching all the time. Like, everyone's like, oh, you got to gain match it to really know if it's doing anything different. It's like, no, you don't. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to hit this motherfucker and this shit's going to be at like -5 LUFS. You know what I'm saying? So were you going to go gain match that? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, when someone plays this, a sync rep, a publisher, someone I send a link to, not on streaming, I send a link to this to get this sync license. This shit's going to hit hard, right? That's what I want it to do. I want it to hit hard. I'm not out here trying to appease everybody on social media like, bro, you didn't gain match it. You didn't gain match it. Well, then turn it the fuck up. Download the goddamn video if you care that much. You know what I mean? Go gain match it yourself. You care about it so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just am so over that debate because it's so goofy. You know, it's like I'm out here trying to trick people like, oh yeah, see, this one's better. No, it's just louder. If you can't hear the difference, you should not be in music. I'm sorry. You should not be doing this at all. Like, understand the difference between louder and better, because a lot of the times when I hear something that's louder, it doesn't sound better to me. Just saying. Oh, it's louder, so it's better. Like, who says that? No normal listener is going like, oh yeah, this one's way better because it's louder. I'll tell you what, a lot of people that I show music to that aren't in this, they're like, oh, can you turn it down a little bit? Like, that's a perfect, can you turn it down? It's kind of hurting my ears. You got to find like a good level for those people, right? They're not going, yeah, turn it up, it's louder, it's better. Nobody does that as a normal listener. That's my whole point. So when everyone's online arguing about that thing, it's just such a bogus argument. It has so many sides to it, and there's so many other things. There's harmonics, there's perceived loudness. You could turn something up really loud and it could be super harsh and it could fucking destroy your ears. Is louder better in that case? No, you're going to want to turn it down and you're going to go, oh, when it's quieter, it sounds better. See, this is like my whole like pet peeve is the whole online thing. Like, everybody's an expert. You gotta gain match it. No, I don't. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to even put out content. I don't have to do these live streams. Like, this whole idea that everybody is expected to do all this shit and make perfect content for everybody for free is just absolutely bullshit to me. Anyway, I digress. Can you tell that I've been making content for a decade now? All right, so God Particle. This is always on my master chain. I have it at 109 here. Duck the mids just a touch, and just understand this is like a multi-band processor, and these kind of indicators are showing you exactly how much gain reduction is happening on each of these bands. This is super misunderstood. 1000% misunderstood. So here, -2.4, that means I am compressing with the multiband -2.4 in the mids. If I take this down, I will be compressing even less. If I take it up, I will be compressing harder, right? So yes, it's going to be louder and it's going to feel louder, but it's also going to be more compressed. So I'll show you this here. See how it says -3 there? That's because it's not just pushing up the mid-band EQ. It's literally bringing up into the multiband compressor, and that multiband compressor is changing and shifting the color of that mid-range. So you got to be really careful with that. That's why I screw with these all the time to get like that perfect balance of how I want it to sound. I don't spend too much time focusing on these indicators because this is like Jason Joshua's, you know, EQ curve. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not Jason Joshua, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to mix exactly like how he mixes. So what I'm trying to do is make this sound good with like looking at the compression, the amount of compression. I'm not going, I gotta hit that box, bro, and then I gotta hit that box, and I gotta hit that box. I want a Jason Joshua mix. No, I want a Bradley fucking Denniston mix. That's what I'm doing. This is my song, you know? So that's what I'm doing. And then this is going to be obviously the harmonics, the God particle harmonics. And then I do use this, obviously this indicator here for the input because I want the input to be healthy, but I don't want it to be over and I don't want it to be under where it's not getting enough gain into it. So a big part of just gain structure overall and gain staging. And then going to this flywheel here, and you're going to see oversampling at 8 because that's where I think it sounds best on this plugin. And then we are metering LUFS and peak. So you can check this out and you'll see how hard it's hitting on the LUFS. But the fun thing is right after that, I'm hitting it with a standard clip, which is adding even more gain to it. So always fun. So check this out. So here's the LUFS. And I love the adaptive limiter on this. That's why I use it. It's really great for low end. And I don't care what anyone says about that plugin. That's my favorite on low end, on the limiting. And then, yeah, standard clip. And then with this on and off, you're going to hear it's just giving it just that little extra bumpity bump. Bada boom, right? Clipped out. We want it clipped out. Logic 12 is even more ridiculous with the metering, by the way. Like, this shit is so ridiculous. Like, it's like, oh, I'm red, I'm orange, oh my god. But dude, like, I have a ceiling here, right? So ceiling is on, clip is at 0 dB, and then I'm actually clipping at -0.03, right? So I have headroom. Like, I'm actually clipping. You can see the red, right? So it's actually clipping, but it's soft clipping, so it's not hard clipping the tops. So we're getting some harmonics, which means you probably will have some overs, but this translates perfect. Like, it went to Spotify. I like the way it sounds. I would say, like, if I was going to change anything about the master on this, I would have, I don't know. I may have, like, pushed it a little bit harder. I may have gone, like, the way I always think about records is like, you're making records for like when you're mixing and mastering and finalizing it. You're like, this is going to go to streaming. And mainly, what is it really going to go to? You know, when you're promoting it and shit, it's going to go to TikTok. It's going to go to Instagram, right? That's where it's going to live. And so when I'm putting out content around the song and everything, I'm listening to this. So that's what I'm really, like, nowadays, it has to translate to TikTok, Instagram, like Reels, YouTube Shorts, Spotify, Apple Music, etc. It has to translate on all those platforms over these little phone speakers, right? So that's the key. That's what I'm really mixing for. I'm not mixing for it to be super loud and proud on Spotify or anything, you know, like, it has to go across all places. And the experience of someone hearing that song on their phone when it comes across their scroll, that's really what you want it to hit. Like, you want people to hit that because that's what's going to get them to go check out the song, to be your fan, etc. Like, that's the world we live in, you know, unless you got like $100,000 to run your marketing budget and PR and shit for your songs, but I don't. So you got to make it sound good on the phone, man. Like, you have to make it translate to the new iPhones and old iPhones, and it's got to be sick, you know? So there you go. That's everything. How many limiters? I'm running one limiter, dude. Yeah, one limiter, one clipper. So it's soft clipping even. So this is the limiter, the God particle, right? God particle has the limiter here at 9.5 dB. So I'm pushing it pretty fucking hard. And then the output is at negative 0.2. I could actually just like leave this at 0 really, because like that's going to go to the standard clip, and the standard clip's really the last thing. But you know, I'm just giving myself a little bit of headroom. I always do that. I don't know why. I think it's an old school engineer thing. But yeah, God particle, gold clip, you know, you do have like this is a soft knee clipper with the gold, and the gold is kind of, I think it might have limiter in it. Here, let's go here. Amount of nonlinear gain used for gold processing. So yeah, gold processing might have a little bit of limiting, but I think it's mainly compression. UAD mainly is compressing. You know, we're in, yeah, we're just compressing with this. This is a compressor. This isn't a limiter. And then, yeah, so that's it. Just one limiter and then one soft clip at the end. Boom. And then if you look, it's really interesting. This is the part that kind of will screw people up, is if you go to the master bus, right, the stereo out, you'll see it's probably going to go red. So that typically means that you are like overshooting a little bit, and that's probably with the soft clip, because it, you know, it's soft clipping, it's not hard clipping. So for example, I'll show you, if I go to hard clip, it shouldn't hit 0. Probably won't have any over. Right, so it hard clips at negative 0.2. But I don't care about overs as long as it translates when I bounce it. So that's the key for me. Like I'm like, if I bounce it and it sounds like it's distorting in a not so musical way, then yeah, I need to go back and revisit that. But if it sounds fine, like it sounds fine. I think that's another thing like about modern, you know, internet culture or something, like use your fucking ears, right? Like this is what I've always been raised on as a professional mixing engineer, mastering engineer. It's like, use your fucking ears. There's all these mastering engineers out there like scoping everything and looking at everything and going, no, I can't have overs. I can't have overs. And it's like, nobody gives a fuck if it sounds good. You know, it goes on Spotify, knows, oh, I could hear some aliasing. No one's hearing aliasing, and it might be a vibe, right? Like, I don't know. Every record's different. Like, yeah, I'm not going to do that with an orchestral mix for a score or something that needs to like be, you know, brought out to Atmos, and like, it's so different. You know, everything's so different. I don't care that it goes over. I don't care that there's some overshoots, and they might go get a little crunchy when they play back on Spotify. Who gives a fuck? Nobody cares. Nobody's gonna, oh my God, I can't hear this song. It's got overs. Can you imagine? Oh, skip that one. It's got overs on it. I can tell there's aliasing. Can you? Prove it. Prove that you can hear aliasing. Prove to me that you can hear overshoots on the oversampling on the soft clipper. I agree. I try really hard to make records smooth and you want to turn them up. That's like the key thing to how I like to work. You know, I want to turn music up loud and like, I want to groove to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be like, oh, I got to turn that down. That shit hurts my ears. You don't want anyone doing that, by the way. That's like the key, right? Hey, I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys like the song, go stream it, you know? Go check it out. Save it to your playlist, whatever. Like, show some love, show some support, you know? I'm breaking this all down for you guys 100% free. I don't expect anything from you. But, you know, show love, hit the thumbs up. Like, you know, be a decent human being. Like, so crazy how many, like, people are so fucking mean and, like, just bad people nowadays. Like, I grew up in the 90s. Like, people were not this mean and bad. I don't know what happened to the world, but like everybody just expected everything all the time for free, and they all want to just hate on people for nothing. It's like, don't be so insecure, you know, like learn from people. Like I'm out here just trying to help people. I'm out here just trying to teach what I know. That's all I'm doing. I'm sharing with you guys how I made a song. Like, that's literally it. You feel me? Like, I don't have any other intentions here. And if you're going to be a shithole fuckface, like, and be an asshole, like, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome around me, anywhere near me, you know? Like, I don't know, man. People are just so mean nowadays. There's something going on, like something in the air. Maybe they got like they're like putting something in the air that everyone's breathing in or in the water or something. I don't know. I'll probably get kicked off my live stream now for saying stuff like that, right? Yeah, you got to make it bump on the phone, bro. Like the phone is where everybody is listening. Let's be real. And then they like might like get home and link it to their Bluetooth, or they might go to their car and play it off their car speakers, you know? And yeah, it's got to translate. The big key thing is, like, I want my shit to bump really hard when someone plays it at a studio, and I want it to bump just as hard when they play it off an iPhone. I want them to be like, yes, this shit is dope. It bumps. Hey, you're so welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah. I don't listen to sounds that have aliasing, bro. I always love that. I'm like, prove that it has aliasing. Prove it that you can hear aliasing. No one can prove it. No one could actually prove that to you. And if they can, like, who cares? It's like Charlie Puth having like perfect pitch. Nobody cares. It's a cute like bar gesture, and it's great for content when they're doing content stuff. But like, I don't care that you got perfect pitch. It just means you're over-tuning your vocals and they're losing the life, you know? He actually was in an interview, like, bless his heart. He was in an interview talking about that. And he was like, the interviewee, the person interviewing him was like, yeah, you know, is there anything that you regret from your, like, when you were making your first records and stuff? And he was like, yeah, I think I over-tuned and made everything like too perfect, you know? And I regret that. Like, you know, just tuning everything to death and making everything like so perfect. And I think that's probably a gift and a curse for him. You know, I'm not going to talk shit about anyone because I don't know Charlie, you know, personally, but that's great that he did that. Like that he said that in an interview, because, you know, as much as it's like, oh, you got perfect pitch. Oh, you're so special. And like, everything's awesome. And like, you're probably making the best music in the world because you can hear all these pitches, you know, but it's like, it just proves to you that music is not about that. Music is about feel, right? It's about telling stories. It's about communication. It's about connecting with people, making people think about something, or entertaining someone, just like straight up like giving someone some entertainment. You feel me? So yeah, it's like, you don't need to focus on all this shit that doesn't matter. Like, just make cool music and stuff that you feel. And if you feel like it's not there and it's not resonating with other people, you got to like really figure out if that's important to you, first of all, right? Is it important to you that your music resonates with other people? If it's not, then don't even put your music out for people. Just play it for yourself, right? Like, why would you even share it? Why are you on social media? Why are you putting it on Spotify if you don't care what other people think? That's my favorite argument too. I don't care what other people think about my music. It's like, then why put it out, right? But if you do care and you want to communicate with people, and you want to share something with people, or you want to entertain people, and you know, you want to connect and communicate with people with your music, then you should figure out what is missing. Why is it not connecting with your audience? Why is it not getting popular? Why is it people not saying that they like your song and they love what you're doing or whatever, you know? Are you not reaching enough people? Do you not have enough data, right? Do you not have a bigger enough data set, etc.? Like, there's so many things that go into this. It's not just, oh, my music is good or bad, you know? There's a subjectivity of everything. So, even what I'm showing you right now, it's like, you might be completely going, oh, I hate the way that he did his vocals, you know? Cool. Don't do your vocals like that. Just showing you how I like them. And, you know, other people like it too, seems. Song's doing pretty well. It's been out since Friday. It's like almost at 10,000 streams, you know? And that's not like any botting. That's not like any, you know, not running up playlists or anything. Just like people listening and sharing and playing it on repeat, and Spotify pushing it out to the algorithm, you know? So it's doing pretty well. And getting good feedback on it, which is really nice. I always like that. And I like communicating these things. Join in late. Can you show the mix bus? Yeah, you can go back on it. You'll have the replay up so you can check out the mix bus. Do you guys have any other questions before I get out of here? I can answer a couple more questions if you got any. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you got. Any questions at all? Besides stuff that I already showed in the stream, I'm not going to like re-show everything. You know what I mean? No offense to anyone that just joined. Like I've been streaming for an hour and 35 minutes. So you can go back on the video. I'll leave a replay up on the YouTube so you guys can check it out and, you know, see what's going on. And if there's no other questions or anything, I'm going to get out of here. All right. You guys have a good hump day. It's February 11th. Hopefully you guys are like finishing up your music. If you're not and you need help with it, you can hire me to mix and master your song. You can hire me to produce your song. You can apply for artist development with me, which is a full program of, you know, everything, rolling out songs together, sync licensing, pitching, all that stuff. But I'm not taking on very many people. You know, I'm taking on like 2, maybe 1 more artist this year. Yeah, good question. Do you have a vocal booth or just record in the studio? This is the vocal booth, baby. Like, the studio is quiet as fuck. It's all tuned. Like, I just put a mic over there. We good, right? Yeah, there's no need for a vocal booth nowadays, unless you have a very loud like noise floor. Like you're in a building that's not, you know, it's just loud. But yeah, a vocal booth. I've had vocal booths. I don't like recording in vocal booths, to be honest. And honestly, like all the artists I work with, I just put them in the room. You know, put the mic up, put them in the room. I got this Soyuz 017 FET, you know, and it's very directional. Like one thing I love about that mic is it's like super directional. So you don't get any of the room. It's just like the vocal right in your face. The TLM 103 is pretty directional, but it has like the cardioid goes out pretty far. And because it doesn't have a transformer in it, you know, it's transformerless and it's like very high output, you can pick up a lot of the room. You might get a hard drive going, you know, you get stuff like that going on in the microphone. So it depends on what you're using. If you're in a room that's not super tuned, I'd recommend you use something like an SM7B and add one of these guys to it. Get an SM7B and add a cloud lifter. They just made the smaller version too of this, but get one of these, right? This is cloud lifter. Take an SM7B, pop it into this, pop the other end out to your preamp. Like put it in a corner of your room, you know, wherever you can get, you know, not so much noise or not so many reflections. And there you go. You got a great recording. It'll take some EQing, it'll take some compression, but that's a mic that'll get you there. Damn near every time in a non-tuned room. What else you got? Okay, what do you got? What is your biggest plateau in mixing? Ooh. I'd say a song that's not finished. A song that's not really done. It's not ready to be mixed. A lot of people want to send songs that are poorly produced, poorly arranged, poorly written, like the structure of it is just not there. And then they're like, yeah, mix it. And you're like, ooh, a mix isn't going to make this song good, you know? So that's my plateau. And then being a producer, a songwriter myself, and, you know, composing for, you know, almost 30 years now, doing all that stuff. It's like, you know, just writing and listening to so much music over the last, you know, 30 years. It's like, I a lot of times I'm like, why? Like the mixing plateau is like, I start to hear the things that are wrong in the writing, in the arrangement, in the composition, in the orchestration, the sounds chosen, etc. When like all those things are just as important as a great mix. But to do a mix on something that's not well arranged, well written, structured, orchestrated, it makes it really difficult. Like you have to really start to prioritize sounds and clear the clutter and, you know, go, hey, there's no reason why you put this guitar right on top of the vocals. This doesn't even work. Like, why even put that there? You know, that's my plateau, is like hearing other people fuck up the production. Like, that's really tough. Wanting to buy my first big boy mic, and I don't know if I should get Neumann or Telefunken. I like how you spelled Telefunken. Yeah. What kind? What are you looking at? I mean, you have so many ranges of mics there. You can go Neumann, like, you could spend like what, $800 on a Neumann, or you could spend like 20 grand, 30 grand on a Neumann. Same thing with Telefunken. Just really depends. I'll tell you, my favorite mic right now is this one. This guy right here. This is my favorite mic. So far, so good, right? This is the Soyuz 017 FET mic. They also have a tube version of this mic. Beautiful. All solid brass body. Sounds amazing. My wife got it for me for Christmas, so I didn't even have to pay for it, which is amazing. These go for, I think, around $2,500 before tax, and sound amazing on everything. They sound great on vocals, male and female. They sound good on almost every instrument. I wouldn't say they sound great on acoustic guitar. I'd get like a small diaphragm condenser for that. But yeah, it's a great mic. Sounds awesome. Love it. If I was going to recommend a mic right now, that's what I would recommend. You know, in that price range. If I'm going 2 to 3K, you know what I mean? But again, it depends on your budget. RMS and peak before and after mix bus, please. 14th February isn't working for me. 14th February isn't working for me. I don't understand what that means, but RMS and peak before and after mix bus, please. I don't read any of that stuff. I don't care about that, honestly. Yeah. I'd answer that question, but I don't know. It's not something that I pay attention to. I'm not like, oh, RMS and peak before the mix bus is this, and then after the mix bus, I want this to happen. You know, like, I just don't care. I use my ear. If you want like a range of like an idea of how that works, like for me, a peak, if you got like, if I'm mixing and I'm just like starting to build the mix, right? I'm putting the drums in. If my snare drum and my kick drum and snare drum, my peaks, you know, of my transients, as I'm building it, are hitting around -5 or so, I'm good. Then I'm going to build from there. That's it. Hopefully that's helpful. Like, yeah, building the mix, I'm like, get the snares like hitting, and it's like, and it's like you still got 5 dB of headroom. It's about where I'd start. And then I'd start putting things together from there. And then after everything's done, like, just balls to the wall, dude. Like, RMS peak doesn't matter to me. How does it sound? Does it still sound dynamic? And are your transients still lively, but you're still like gassing? Yeah, like it's and every song's different. You know what I mean? Yeah, I told you what I'd go for. What I already, you know, have, and what I'm doing now. What do you got? I'd be quite interested to find out more about your artist development program. Also, how would I find out more? You could send me an email. I'll send you a link to the website, and you can check it out. My email is Bradley at, here, I'll pop it in the chat here. Media.com. Yeah, sorry I couldn't answer that more fully, because like, I think if I was to say how I mix as a mixing engineer and how I make music, I do it by feel, you know? Like, I want the mix to feel perfectly fit to the song. Like, I'm not sitting there going like, what is the RMS and peak? And like, I gotta hit these arbitrary numbers, you know? Like, I just don't think like that. And maybe it's because like I've spent a majority of my life doing this, and I went to school for it, and I got a bachelor's degree in sound, and you know, I've just been doing it for so long that it became like it's just become more of like a feeling to me, like an innate thing. You know, you go through this process in life where you like start out with like the magic of making music and like writing songs, and you're like, this is sick. I love how magical this is, and I don't know anything. And then you like go through the full circle of like getting really technical and learning about hard drives, building computers and Pro Tools, DAWs, plugins, all this stuff, right? And you come full circle and you go, man, I just don't want to worry about any of that stuff because you know it already. You have that skill set. And then you focus again on the magic and you're like, how does it feel? Does this song make me feel anything? If not, like I'm not going to work on, you know, like if it's my song, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to keep working this to death. I need to make sure the RMS and peak are right and I need to mix this. Like, no, I'm just going to be like, fuck that song. It's not hitting, you know, go to the next thing. And maybe I wrote it from a place that it doesn't mean anything, you know, like I want to make songs that like mean something to me personally. And it's okay if it doesn't mean something to someone else, but someone's going to lock in and go like, hey, this is sick. I really like this, you know, I relate to this or whatever. Is it a bad idea to export compression and bring it back in to squash more, or does it kill it? Mainly thinking about this for electric guitar. You know, I don't usually compress electric guitars. I actually don't like compression much on electric guitar. Because you got to think like an amp sim or an amp or a drive pedal or whatever is compressing. It's like you're already pushing so hard on that guitar. So yeah, I don't really compress much on electric guitars. I'd say a lot of people don't. When it comes to like high level production, mixing, mastering, like you're not going to see a whole lot of people doing a ton of compressing on electric guitars. You might do compression on electric guitars when you're like doing licks and they're going donk, you know, like the playing is all over the place and you want to like compress it so you can hear all those notes and intonation of everything, like really, you know, everything stays there so you're not losing any notes. But otherwise, like, yeah, you're putting it through an amp or a sim or whatever else, and it's going to hit compression anyway. It's going to hit limiting compression on buses, master bus, etc. But yeah, guitars to me never sound really good, very compressed. So hard for me to give you a you know, is it a bad idea to export compression, bring it back, squash it more? I'd say just be careful when you export the compression that you're not killing the initial attack, because the minute you like kill the initial attack and then you bring it back in to compress it more, you're not getting that attack back, you know? So just be careful on the initial attack of the compressor. Cool, man. Sounds sick. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. It's been an hour and 47 minutes of streaming. I hope you guys got a lot out of this one. And yeah, I hope you go listen to the song and show some love and support. And if you didn't like the song, cool too. You know, don't listen to it, please, because then you'll just skip it and then it's just going to fuck me over. So anyway, appreciate y'all. Have a great night. Peace.